in Southeast Asia is 88.7%. Literacy rate, can read and write. But then at an 88.7% literacy rate, half of them are unemployed. Almost the population does not have access to sexual and reproductive health. The literacy rate is 88.7%, but when a typhoon comes, the community is wiped out and they have to start all over again. The literacy rate is 88.7%, but they are unable to vote with discernment. So today, my name is Marianne Luna. I'm from Cal State Fullerton. This is my final year. I graduate next spring. And my presentation is inspired by a paper I wrote. This is for one of my classes. It's called Empowering Southeast Asian Women, Strategies in Reducing Gender Inequality. I started this paper for class, and then I decided to go forward. And today is, I guess, the day I launched my advocacy. So, okay. Today we'll be talking about two things. First is the strategies, the three goals I feel that would reduce gender inequality in Southeast Asia, and second is my advocacy. So this is by the United Nations. These are the goals that they came up with to reduce gender inequality. But in my research, I focused on education, employment, and the household role of women. Okay, so number one, I feel that quality education for women should be better. Studies show that women who have been through a single gender education, meaning all girls school, they perform better. They are more assertive. They are better academically, and they perform better in the workplace. I'm not saying that single gender education is better than traditional, but for a specific for a developing country or a community that is financially or academically challenged, this is a good alternative, because in an all-girls school, you're not as distracted. And you're also exposed to other female leaders that, you can, they're exposed to other female leaders. I'm going to read this as an excerpt from my research. In an environment where all the student leaders are women and most of the college presidents are female, there is little room to foster stereotypes about what a woman can or cannot do. Instead, a great sense of empowerment is cultivated, and young women develop a keen awareness that they can accomplish anything they set their minds to. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one. Employment policy opportunity for women in the Southeast Asian is very weak. 2 years ago, I volunteered for a family friend. He owns his own school, and I taught English in a rural area for teachers. And for my little activity, I asked them, what is your biggest dream? And these teachers, already teachers, they all said, oh, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And then so I said, no, what is your biggest dream? Like, if anything were possible, what is it that you want? What is your vision for yourself, for your students, for your family? What is it? And then they started having other things in mind, like I want to be a business owner, I want to be mayor. Somebody said that I want to, all of a sudden, all these answers. And I think the reason why they are stuck to, oh, I want to be this, is because there's a lack of opportunity. And also, let me read this. In developing countries, corporate positions are dominated by males, leaving limited job positions for women. Lin Chu, writer of Women and Globalization in Southeast Asia, she writes, almost all new jobs for women are in this informal economy, particularly in the so-called care industries, domestic work, entertainment, nursing, teaching, mixed sex industry, outsourced back offices, and call centers. So that is true. That is true. It also has to do with the media in Southeast Asia, of course, people, whatever they see, that's who they visualize themselves to be, and there's, I feel like the women don't see enough variety, enough opportunity. Okay, women in the household, strategy number 3, I'd like to target this. I'm going to share a personal story. 4 years ago, I married kind of young, and what I would do is I just gave birth, and I'd drive to my parents' house, leave my baby, go to work, go to school, pick up my baby, go home, cook dinner, clean the house. By the time my husband gets home, my baby's sleeping and I'm just in bed. He comes home and says, "What did you do today?" And so my answer was, "Oh, I went to work and I took care of Maya." And then he, like, that happened to me here in a first world country. I experienced discrimination by my own husband. Of course, not my husband anymore. I experienced that here. And the thing is, I'm able to choose otherwise because I identified the oppression. I identified because here in America, women and gender is not a new thing. But in Southeast Asia, it is. It is a new thing. Women experience that all the time, not knowing that this isn't how it should be. And so, Southeast Asian women still locked down to the roles of housewife and mother. Today, in a world where women now work, in Southeast Asia, yeah, most of them can work, but then they're still locked into these roles. They're still expected to, even if you work, you're still expected to be a housewife and mother. And of course, this also happens in the US, but all the more over there. So the household work and responsibility left to women limits their opportunities to having their own career and advancing as an individual. Child care and housework should be shared between family members and not just the females. So I'm going to move on to my advocacy. I started on that research, and then today, my family is already here, and my mom has a 1 hectare, like a farm back in the Philippines, and I asked if I could do something about it. And so I plan to build a center for literacy and research development. Right now it looks something like that. It's like a cornfield and goes all the way back. Yeah. And so that's what I plan to do. I want to bring in filmmakers, writers, book authors, people who can come and take a look and do research on the Philippines and help find solutions, because everybody there, those who are educated, they leave. They leave to find a job, they leave to find a better life. But how about if there was something like this, then maybe other people can come to Southeast Asia and do something. Also, this one I've already started. It's it's a literacy movement for young learners. Has anybody heard of bibliotherapy? Okay, so bibliotherapy is using children's books as a medium to examine critical issues such as war, gender, inequality, abuse, bullying, discrimination, poverty. This program is designed to inspire children to think critically, to enhance the ability to express their own thoughts while creating solutions to challenges. That is so wordy. Anyway, for example, I started this with my own daughter. I collected children's books to help her understand divorce. So I have a book called it's a Filipino book. It's a local author in the Philippines. It's called Mama's House, Papa's House. So I read it to her, and there I am able to explain to her that she has 2 houses. This is what's going on. I also there's like heavy typhoons come to the Philippines every year, and so I volunteered to go to the area, and then we read books to these young kids for losing family members, how to deal with trauma. This is I feel would be a good solution. Also for literacy, not to teach young learners to read and write, but also to make them aware, to build awareness, to help them, to make them interested in books. like I feel that at a young age, if they are exposed to issues like war, gender, discrimination, bullying, abuse, then they not just explain it to them, but at a young age you can have them help them, like teach them to solve issues. Like what are these solutions? What do you feel? How can we avoid these things? And so that's what I plan to. That's why I'm building a collection of all these bibliotherapy books. So one day I could do something about it. Also language. Of course, like how we use language is also how we think. So that is one reason why I feel like bibliotherapy is so important, because I want children to learn about these languages. I'm not just in the Philippines, they just accept what's happening. Like, no, they should know that this is what's happening to the world, and like how to use that, how to think about, how to discuss, things like that. So this is my conclusion. So I first talked about the 3 goals and my advocacy, and I am here because if you would like more information, if you can help me move forward with this project, I'd love to hear your suggestions, or if you know people who'd like to participate, this is my email, and of course, like later there's question and answer. So there. Thank you.